In a surprising reversal, Donald Trump is now urging House Republicans to vote in favor of releasing previously sealed documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, declaring, "We have nothing to hide." The change of heart comes as bipartisan momentum builds in Congress, pressuring even Trump's own camp to push for transparency. Once a staunch opponent of such a release, Trump made the appeal via his Truth Social platform, framing the controversy as a Democrat hoax to deflect from the great success of the Republican Party. But it was also clear that many within his MAGA base felt that Trump was not being true to his word on the Epstein files, and the unrest within was clearly growing. Over the weekend, Trump went ballistic on Marjorie Taylor Greene, a staunch MAGA supporter and Republican congresswoman, withdrawing his support and endorsement for her. He called MTG, as she's popularly known, wacky, a ranting lunatic who had gone off to the far left. MTG has for a long time been a fierce Trump defender, who has been one of the most vocal voices in the Republican Party asking for the release of the Epstein files. She also recently moved a bill to put an end to H-1B visas, which again put her on the clash course with Trump, who has had a change of heart on the skilled visas for migrant workers. House Speaker Mike Johnson, who's also a Trump ally, announced plans for a House floor vote on the Epstein Files Transparency Act. It's a legislation that would require the Justice Department to declassify and publish Epstein-related records, and has been advanced by one Republican representative, Thomas Massie, and Khanna, who's a Democratic representative. Mike Johnson had previously resisted the move, saying the timing was now politically impossible to ignore after a discharge petition forced the issue. The proposed law would mandate the DOJ to release all unclassified documents about Epstein and his high-profile associates, though it permits redactions of sensitive information tied to victims of ongoing investigations. Epstein's legacy and his connections continue to reverberate. A recent batch of documents released by the House Oversight Committee includes flight records, phone logs, and meeting schedules tied to Epstein and numerous prominent individuals. Among the revelations are emails in which Epstein claimed Trump knew about the girls. While Trump disputes the claim, critics say such messages deepen the demand for full disclosure. Trump's U-turn is particularly interesting because he spent the better part of the last few days going after Democrats and their Epstein connections. Trump asked the Justice Department and FBI to investigate Epstein's ties to Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, and JP Morgan Chase, claiming the Epstein scandal is now a Democrat problem. Is it though? A review by the Wall Street Journal found that Trump was mentioned in more than 1,600 of the 2,324 email threads. Trump also called those Republicans supporting the release of the Epstein files weak Republicans who have fallen into the clutches because they are soft and foolish. Epstein was a Democrat, according to Trump's message, and he's a Democrat's problem, not the Republicans' problem. Victims and their advocates have expressed hope that the files release could bring some measures of justice. Public pressure has mounted in recent months, particularly from survivors calling for accountability and transparency. For years, allegations and redacted public records have left many unanswered questions about Epstein's network and who may have been complicit. On the other hand, some Republicans view the vote as dangerous. For them, the controversy risks dragging in their own elite or tarnishing the image of long-standing GOP figures associated with Epstein. Speaker Johnson, however, insists openness is the safest route. Let the people decide. That's what he said. Now, Trump's reversal has not comforted everyone. Critics argue his call for a vote might be more about optics than accountability, a calculated move to shore up his conservative base while deflecting renewed scrutiny. Meanwhile, the Senate still remains a hurdle because even if the House approves the legislation, the future remains uncertain because Senate Majority Leader John Thune has sounded skeptical and has raised doubts about whether the bill can survive a test in the upper house. Still, the momentum is building, and moderate Republicans and Democrats alike believe they now have the votes to force meaningful transparency, potentially even overriding a veto. If passed, The Epstein Files Transparency Act could create a permanent, searchable archive of Epstein's world. That means his associates, financial dealings, and legal agreements. For many, this is more than a political battle. It's a moral test, a reckoning over how power and privilege shield wrongdoing. For more such stories, subscribe to SNG News, hit the like button and follow for more news updates.